Hello everyone, Kobermai here, back again with the first episode of Season 2 of Choose Your Character. For those of you new to the series, this is the series where I take a look at potential video game characters to join the roster of Smash Brothers, whether it be this game or a future installment, and I just make a moveset for them. We finished up last season a few months ago, and I've been planning out Season 2, so I hope to get these episodes out more frequently than I did with Season 1. And overall, it's just going to be a good time. All the Season 2 movesets are made and recorded. I'm not going to reveal who the characters are. So far, I've said that Chrono from Chrono Trigger was going to be the first episode. However, the first episode of Season 2, I mean. However, I had to delay him off for about a few more episodes because I needed to finish up some stuff with his moveset, so he's probably going to be later down the line, but he is still going to be in Season 2. Today, to start Season 2 off, we're discussing Leon Kennedy from the Resident Evil series, specifically Resident Evil 2, 4, and 6. Let's get into it. Alright, so Leon Kennedy, as stated earlier, is the main protagonist of multiple Resident Evil games, but the main appearance that I'm basing him off of in this moveset is his appearance in Resident Evil 2, as that is his, they just recently remade that game. I think he's more well-known in 4, but I just based it off of 2 because I have more experience in that game. So because of this, his default appearance would be Leon's Raccoon City Police Department uniform for Resident Evil 2. However, he would have an alternate costume based off of his leather jacket from Resident Evil 4. And then he would have alternate color palettes based on different characters from the Resident Evil series, being Chris, Jill, Wesker, Claire, and then 2 palettes based on the zombie and tyrant enemy classes. His victory theme would be the save room music from Resident Evil 2. And his victory animations would consist of Leon looking around before holstering his gun, Leon slashing in the air with his knife a few times before he poses in a way similar to the Resident Evil 4 box art. And then his third one would have him pull out his police radio and begin to speak into it while walking off camera. So we have all the aesthetic stuff out of the way, so now it's time to move on to his moveset. I hope you guys are excited. Starting Leon's moveset off with his jab, for this attack, Leon punches followed by a pistol whip, and the final hit being a gunshot. Now, this gunshot does not act as a projectile, as it's more of a downward shot. However, it's a projectile, but it doesn't go forward. It just more or less shoots downward in a downward angle. Leon's dash attack would consist of Leon performing a shoulder charge. He would just run forward and bash into any enemy that he encountered with his shoulder. This causes them to fly off a decent distance. I guess you could compare this to Samus's dash attack. His forward tilt would be a quick slash with his knife, and his up tilt would be Leon slashing in the air with his knife. And his down tilt would consist of Leon shooting at the ground in front of him. He would be crouching down, and he would just fire his gun right in front of him on the ground. So it would not go very far, but it would still hit directly in front of him. Now moving on to his smash attacks. For Leon's forward smash, it consists of him just performing a shotgun blast forward. And then his up and down smash also consists of him firing a shotgun in those respective directions. I feel like the shotgun would be best reserved for smash attacks as it's a bit slower, but it has a lot of firepower to it. So yeah. Now moving on to his aerials. Starting things off with his neutral air. This would see Leon slash with his knife on either side of him. This is a quick disruption attack, kind of like, I guess Joker's would be a nice comparison because he already has a knife attack where he strikes on either side of him as soon as you press neutral air. So yeah. For his forward air, Leon would shoot his handgun forward. Now this is the first time that his gun in his moveset actually functions as a projectile. When you use it, he would fire it just directly forward, and it would just function like Villagers' forward and back aerials, where they shoot a projectile that doesn't do much knockback but deals damage as it flies forward. For his up air, Leon would perform a flip kick backwards. This just causes the opponent to be launched upward. It doesn't have much knockback, but you can chain it together at low percentages. Kind of like Mario up air. For his back air, Leon swings his shotgun behind him, and he just kind of hits whoever's behind him. He uses it as a blunt force weapon, so he doesn't fire it, he just swings it like a club. This is the highest knockback aerial in his moveset, so I think that it would be a little slower when it first comes out. But it also does quite a bit of damage, as I have here in my notes. And then finally, for his down air, Leon would perform a diving dropkick attack. This is just like every other diving attack in the game. He would go downward at a very quick pace, and he will just spike anyone on the way down. But if you use it off stage, you're pretty much guaranteed to die. Now moving on to his grabs. For his basic grab, Leon would just grab the enemy and hold them by the shoulders. For his pummel, Leon would knee the grabbed enemy in the stomach. This pummel does about 2% damage if you press quick enough. And then for his throws, for the throws themselves, for his forward throw, Leon would push the enemy, causing them to slide forward and eventually fall down. I'm trying to make the throws resemble the animations that play whenever a zombie grabs him and he knocks them off. So I think that's a fair way to incorporate it. Sorry for stuttering. It's been a while since I've had to record one of these videos by myself, so I'm still kind of getting in the hang of things. Next up, with his up throw, Leon would hit the enemy with the butt of his shotgun right underneath the chin, which would cause them to be launched upward a little bit. This is probably the worst throw in his kit, as it does not have much knockback, but you can use it for a combo throw. So yeah. For his back throw, Leon just throws the opponent behind him. This is not a kill throw, it just kind of throws them very slightly behind him. However, you can use it to just kind of get the enemy out of your face, if that makes any sense. And then finally, for his down throw, Leon slams the foe into the ground, kind of like he would grab them by the face and then just like slam them into the ground before rolling backwards, is I guess how I would describe that animation. So yeah. Those are his throws. Overall, he doesn't have a super compelling throw game. However, some of them can be useful in certain scenarios. The best is probably his... Actually, wait. I know I said that his up throw was the worst, but in my notes I actually got that wrong. I meant to put it's the best because it's the only throw that has any use other than just being a throw, because you can use it as a combo throw. I apologize for that. Now we're going to move into his specials. I know we've been moving a bit faster than usual, but like I said, that's probably just because I haven't done one of these things in forever, so I'll try to slow down here. Alright, so starting things off with his neutral B, for this attack we have the Flamethrower. In Resident Evil 2, you find the Flamethrower towards near the end of the game. It's a very powerful weapon with limited fuel, so you have to use it wisely. It works similarly in Smash. When you first press the button, Leon will draw the flamethrower, and he will begin to carry it around. He can move around freely and jump while he's holding the flamethrower. But as soon as you hold down the B button, he begins to shoot fire out of the flamethrower. These flames themselves work similar to Bowser and Charizard's flamethrower attacks, where the longer you hold it, the less fire comes out of it until you have to recharge it again, if that makes any sense. And Leon can fire for about 5 seconds before the flamethrower has to recharge. To fully recharge from use, it'll take about 10 seconds, but the flamethrower does do quite a bit of damage to compensate. And Leon can put the flamethrower away by pressing the shield button at any time. If he dodges, he will continue to hold the flamethrower. However, you can only get rid of it by shielding when you're on the ground. Moving on to his side special. For this, we have his Stun Grenade. Now, for this, as soon as you press side special, Leon activates a Stun Grenade. And if you keep holding down the button, he rolls it forward. But if you let go as soon as he pulls the pin on it, he throws it forward. Now, the Stun Grenade detonates after a few seconds, after it's been thrown or rolled, respectively, or if it's hit by an attack, whether it be from you or your enemy. And it stuns enemies for a few seconds. Basically, it puts them in the shield break status for a few seconds. but only one grenade can be active at a time, and if it's used in the air, then Leon throws the grenade at a downward angle. It does not stun the enemy if they are in the air, because that would just be a bit too good, in my opinion. However, you can activate a good... what I have in the notes is that a good way to use the grenade would hypothetically be rolling it across the ground and using one of Leon's gunshot attacks to detonate it. However, if you think that an enemy is going to run towards you and use an attack, then you can just roll it along the ground or throw it in the air, so that way they would hit it, and then they would be stunned, so you can make a follow-up attack with a forward smash or something. For his up special, we probably have the most copy and pasted move in the moveset, and that's a grapple hook. Now, I tried to think of something original for his up special, however, it was more difficult than I first thought it would be, so his up special just consists of the same basic thing as Joker's up special. He throws a grappling hook in the air, and if he hits the ledge, he'll pull himself up. If he doesn't, he just misses, and he doesn't go into free fall, but it's just more difficult to recover. I mean, if you can't reach the edge with the grappling hook, odds are you're not going to recover at all unless the opponent hits you, but I digress. If you're on the floor, you can pull enemy toward... Sorry for stuttering. Again, like I said, I'm still getting back into the hang of doing these things. Give me a couple episodes and I'll probably be back to normal. The one thing that I did do to make it differentiate from Joker's grappling hook is if you're standing on the ground, you can actually hold down the B button and you can angle which direction you throw the grappling hook. That way, if you throw it at an enemy, you can determine which angle to throw the grappling hook to make sure that you can hit the enemy and you can pull them towards you. So now moving on to his down special. This move is... I actually was kind of proud of being able to come up with this. It's called Saving Stab. And this move is a counter move. And as soon as you press the button, Leon draws his knife and holds it up to him. And if you hit Leon while he's countering, he thrusts his knife into the opponent and he loses his knife. The knife attacks... Any attacks that Leon would normally be able to do that involve the knife cannot be used until Leon reacquires the knife. So as soon as you counter and put the knife into the enemy who you countered, you can't use attacks like forward tilt or back air, or not back air, forward tilt or neutral air. They'll just fail. He'll just kind of shrug or something, I guess, to indicate that he doesn't have his knife. And so as I said a second ago, when you counter it, he sticks the knife into the enemy. You can reacquire the knife by grabbing the enemy or striking them with any attack that would normally use the knife, such as Nair or F-tilt. So I know I said they would fail, but actually I didn't read ahead. I was supposed to read ahead, but what they do is he performs kind of an unarmed version of the attack, and if he hits them with it, he gets the knife back. He can also retrieve the knife just by running into the enemy or something. It'll play a quick little animation of him pulling it out as he runs by. But in some scenarios, you might actually want to keep the knife in the enemy. And this is because while the enemy has the knife thrusted inside of them, they take 1.5% damage every second until Leon retrieves the knife. So this makes for actually kind of an interesting move, because say it's the beginning of the match, and one of your first moves is you counter an attack from Mario and you put the knife in him. Well, you might not want to get the knife back immediately, but rather you might want to run around the stage for a few seconds before retrieving it to let the damage stack up. So yeah, I think that I tried not to make it a counter, but at the end of the day, that idea kind of popped to my head. I don't know how. It's, for reference, this move is based off of, in Resident Evil 2, the remake, you can use a knife to save yourself from a zombie bite, and whenever Leon uses the knife, he'll thrust it into the enemy, and he will lose the knife until he kills that zombie. So I kind of based it off of that. So yeah, we're done with his moveset. I know that I probably messed up a lot while talking there, or I went too fast at times, but like I said, I'll get better. Just give me time. I apologize. I might even remake this episode if I don't feel like it's good enough, so we'll just see how it goes. But moving on to his stage and music. Starting off with his stage, the stage bundled with Leon is the main hall from Resident Evil 2. This area in question is the Raccoon City Police Department's main hall when you first walk into the Raccoon City Police Department at the beginning of the game. The one with the 2 staircases on either side of the statue. I'll put a picture of it on screen so you guys know what I'm talking about. So this stage, you just kind of fight on the first floor of the Raccoon City Police Department, and it's a walk-off stage, but occasionally zombies or the Tyrant will walk into the background, and the Tyrant will actually jump into the foreground at times and just follow around fighters and even punch them. And if you get punched by the Tyrant, you'll take a lot of damage. If you're shielding, your shield instantly breaks. However, he does not appear all the time. He's only occasionally appears on the stage. And then just as added Easter eggs, occasionally in the background you will see Claire, Chris, or Jill standing around. These 3 are the other main protagonists of the Resident Evil series, so I just figured I would include them somewhere in the game as a reference point. So yeah. The stage is, I guess if you would want to compare it to anything, it would kind of be like it's just a big walk-off stage, but with a lot of Easter eggs and references, and occasionally there's a stage boss. And then finally, we're going to move on to the music. Resident Evil 2 has a lot of very good music tracks, but I think that I decided for the main one I would want to be remixed as Leon's main theme would probably be Escape the Lab from Resident Evil 2. I'll play that here.
All employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat, all employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat, all employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat, all employees proceed to the bottom platform.
I think that song would be really cool, as it's already kind of an action-style theme. They could remix it if they wanted to make it sound more fitting for Smash, but even if they didn't, I think that it works as is. And then the other 2 themes that I think would really work in Smash, that I like, because I usually limit the amount of music I talk about here to 3 songs, I think that Hunk's theme from the Resident Evil 2 remake would be very nice. And then I think that the boss battle music from the original Resident Evil 2 would be very good. I'll play that here as well. So yeah, overall, Leon Kennedy would be a very interesting character. I don't know if we're going to get another Capcom character in Smash Ultimate as DLC. Ultimately, if we did get one, I think that Phoenix Wright would be the one that I would want most, obviously. But I do think that a Resident Evil character would be likely. However, recently we had a Spirit event, which includes Leon and all the other Resident Evil protagonists as spirits, so I think that they're out of the running as of recording this, but you never know. So yeah, once again, at the very end, I just want to apologize. This episode hasn't been as high quality as the episodes in last season. I'm trying to get better at talking to the mic. So hopefully by the next few episodes, I'll be back into the pace of this. Thank you guys for checking out this episode, and I will see you all next time. Have a great day, and bye-bye.